Today we're helping a brewery to analyze their variance to sales targets using a waterfall chart. Their data is a pretty standard, flat data table that shows daily sales, units, and price across actuals, forecast, and budget for the last 3 years. First we create a dummy field that we will use to generate the labels for the chart. Next, we create bins of the dummy. It's crucial that we tell Tableau to create bins with a step size of 1. Once the bins are created, throw that bad boy onto the detail card. To create the labels of the waterfall, we are going to use a case statement. This means that when our dummy variable is 1, we'll display target sales. When the variable is 2, we'll display price, and so on. Drag this new labels field to the columns shelf. You're going to get a bunch of null values because we only define the first 5 values. Don't sweat it, that's supposed to happen. We'll just exclude those using a filter. This next part is the hardest since we have to tell Tableau where to start each level of the waterfall. Once you do it though, it starts to make sense pretty quickly. We again create a case statement that will determine the starting point for each stage of the waterfall. The first stage starts at 0. The second stage starts where the first one leaves off, which would be target sales. The third stage is where the second one leaves off, which is target sales net of the price impact, and so on. You'll also notice I am using a level of detail calculation to do this. If you are using any sort of dimensions, like category, in your data, you'll need to do these calculations at the relevant level of detail. In this case, we are calculating everything by the beer. Now drag the start field to rows and switch the marks to be a Gantt bar. Right-click on the labels pill in the columns shelf and manually order them to match the order we outlined in the formula. Alright, the hard part is done. Now we just need to add the bars themselves and color them appropriately. To do this, we need another case statement. This time, we just list the appropriate measure for each stage of the waterfall. Remember that this sequence has to follow the same order we've already set up through the labels case statement and the manually sorted labels field in the columns shelf. The size of the last bar has to be given as a negative or else the bars won't look right. You'll see what I mean in a second. I screw this up on the first try. See that last bar? Because our starting point is a running total of the previous values, that bar needs to be a negative so we get back to the x-axis. That's better. Now we can cheat a little bit and just duplicate the size field. We'll name this new field color, replace the first and last values with 0 and then wrap the rest in a sign formula. This will help us color the waterfall appropriately. Convert the color field to discrete, drag it to the color card, and adjust the colors accordingly. Now we're cooking with gas. Let's duplicate the size field again, and now we will create the labels that will sit on top of each of the bars. This is the easiest part, since the only adjustment we need to make is to delete the negative sign on the end point of the waterfall. The only thing left to do from here is to clean up the formatting a bit, and holy guacamole, we've got ourselves a nice looking waterfall. Throughout this video, I've been using calculated fields to determine the target sales, price, units, mix variances, and this year's sales, all controlled by a few parameters. Those are extensive formulas, so I suggest you check out my other video on how to set those up. Link in the description below. Drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Or don't, I don't really care.